Thank you for the light you gave. I was walking through a quiet storm, hands half empty, spirit worn, didn't know which way was home. Then you found me all. You didn't ask for anything, just gave your time, your steady wing, like a candle in the rain. You cut right through my doubt and pain. I don't say it near enough, but you were there when it got tough. Thank you for the light you gave, for every time you chose to stay, for every word that pulled me through. I'm standing here because of you. Through the dark you held the line, turned my broken into fine. If I never find the words to say, just know I thank you every day. I thank you every day. You saw strength I couldn't see, built a bridge when I couldn't reach. Every moment, every mile, you carried hope with quiet style. No spotlight, no grand applause, just a heart that never paused. In a world that rushes by, you were my reason to still try. And if I fall or lose my way, your voice still echoes, you'll be okay. Thank you for the light you gave, for every time you chose to stay, for every word that pulled me through. I'm standing here because of you. Through the dark you held the line, turned my broken into fine. If I never find the words to say, just know I thank you every day. I thank you every day. Some heroes don't wear a name, they just show up just the same. In the silence, in the noise, you gave me back my voice. If I could give the world to you, it still wouldn't be enough to prove. Thank you for the love you gave, for every storm you held me brave, for every tear you helped me hide, for standing always by my side. And when my story's said and done, and all the battles that I've won will trace back to the day you chose not to walk away. You chose not to walk away.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Thank You for the Help by me. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the Visiting Ward. Today's episode is a heavy one, but I think it's something a lot of people go through and almost nobody talks about. Today we're talking about losing someone who wasn't your brother or sister by blood, but they were family in every way that mattered. And somehow losing them hurts worse than some breakups, worse than some relationships, because you never expected them to leave. You know, there are people that come into your life, and they're just friends at first. You hang out, you talk, you laugh, you go through life together. Then one day you realize this person isn't just a friend anymore. They're the person you call when something good happens. They're the person you call when something bad happens. They know your secrets, your past, your struggles, your dreams. You start introducing them like, this is my brother, this is my sister, even though there's no blood relation at all. because family isn't always blood. Sometimes family is people who choose to stay. And then sometimes things change. Not all at once, not some big dramatic moment, just slowly. They stop texting you as much, they stop inviting you to places. You feel like you're always the one reaching out. Conversations get shorter. You start hearing about their life from other people instead of from them. And you sit there wondering, did I do something? Did I say something? Why does it feel like I'm losing someone who's still alive? That's the worst feeling there is. Because when someone dies, you get a funeral, you get closure. People talk about them, remember them, grieve together. But when someone walks out of your life, you get nothing. No goodbye, no explanation, no closure. Just silence. Nobody talks about the friend heartbreak. Nobody talks about what it feels like to lose someone who knew everything about you. Someone who was there during the hardest parts for your life. Someone you thought would be there at your wedding. Someone you thought would be there when you had kids. Someone you thought you'd be old and laughing with someday. And now they're just a stranger with memories. That's a different kind of pain. Because you don't just lose the person, you lose the future you thought you were going to have with that person. I think one of the hardest parts is not getting an answer. You replay conversations in your head, you replay arguments, you replay jokes, you replay everything, trying to figure out where things changed. You want to text them, you want to call them, you want to ask, why wasn't I worth fighting for? Why was I so easy to walk away from? Did our friendship mean as much to you as it did me? And most of the time, those questions, they never get answered. And eventually, you realize something hard. Something really hard. Closure isn't something people give you. Closure is something you give yourself. You can grow from this. Losing someone like that changes you. It makes you more guarded. It makes you slower to trust people. It makes you appreciate the people who stay. It makes you realize that not everyone who says, I'll always be there, will actually be there. But it also teaches you something important. Some people are meant to be in your life forever. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a few years. And some people are only meant to be in your life for one chapter. This doesn't make the memories fake. This doesn't make the friendship any less real. That just means the story kept going and they weren't meant to be in the rest of it. If you're listening to this and you've lost someone who you felt like was a brother or sister, someone you thought would always be there, I want you to remember this. You weren't stupid for loving them. You weren't wrong for trusting them. You weren't weak for caring about them. It just means you are the kind of person who treats friends like family. And the world needs more people like that. Just because someone walked out of your life doesn't mean you weren't important. Doesn't mean you didn't matter. And it doesn't erase what you meant to each other. Some people are chapters. Some people are lessons. Some people are forever. And sometimes the people we thought were forever were just the most important chapter. You can lose someone without them dying. And losing someone that you thought was family can hurt the most. I've went through this. I say I've went through this because I did. Went through it about 4 or 5 months back, 6 months back, maybe a little bit longer. Can't remember the exact date and time, but someone that I called my sister was just another chapter. The sweetest thing about having someone just be a chapter in your life is you learn. You learn that good things happen to good people. You learn that bad things happen to good people. And that person that you lost, you used to share times with, you used to hang out, you used to talk, you used to laugh, you used to go through life together. They weren't just your friend, they were your family. They brought you great joy in life. They were the type of person that was there whenever you would lose your shit. They would be there standing, waiting to see if they could clean up the mess. They would stand up for you whenever you weren't around. They would defend you even when you were there to defend yourself. A lot of people lose people that were family. Friends who become family aren't just people anymore. They're VIPs. They're very important people. This doesn't mean that you're not a very important person, because you are. Being family to someone means that you've been there through the good times, the bad times, the struggles. You've been there for just about anything and everything. And it hurts when they either walk away or you push them away, depending on how you look at it. I feel like maybe I pushed a lot of people away, and pushing people away is what I do when I don't want people to be around. When I have my big blow-ups, when I have my nuclear moments. When you have those moments that you don't want people to see you go through, you push people away. You try your best not to, and the harder you try not to, the more you do it. You do it unknowingly. You do it without having any sort of remorse about it. You do it without having any sort of feeling about it. And then later, you can feel like utter shit. And to be in a position where you feel like utter shit and knowing that you've done wrong, you tend to try to get those people back. Music is a way to help heal from things like this. There's also talking to the friends that you still have that you consider to be family. You can talk about it without hurting. Sometimes talking about it makes you hurt. Sometimes talking about it can bring up memories that you have forgotten about. Me, personally, I've went through things. I've went through this. It hits a little close to home because I've went through this. I've lost friends who I called family. I've lost actual family. They've actually walked away from me before. And I'm not talking about mother, brother, sister, stuff like that. Actual blood family. I'm talking about like aunts and uncles. And it's tough. It's tough watching your child who became attached to a certain person grow up and not be attached to that person anymore. It's tough having someone be around so much that your kid enjoyed having them around and then they're no longer around. This doesn't just affect you whenever you lose a person who you called family. It affects your child if your child was attached to that person. It affects you. It affects your significant other. But there are a lot of things in this world that we don't control. And one of those things is free will. People choose when to walk away. People choose when to call it quits on friendships. And sadly, some people choose to call it quits on friendships whenever things get too hard or they don't want to talk. They don't want to be adults. I choose to stay strong. I choose to find new friends. And if those people, for me, ever wanted to come back, I would welcome them back. But they've got to want to do it. I've done nothing wrong. In my eyes. I did what I felt was right at the time. But you can't sit here and blame everything on them. Did I do some things wrong? Yes. Was it too much to basically push people away? Is it wrong to do so? No. That is a defense mechanism. And that being a defense mechanism for me has cost me a lot. So, to those listening, just know that you are loved. And you should always tell someone you love them. And that's going to end episode 1 of the Visiting Ward for season 4. I love each and every one of you. And until next time, we're leaving these doors open because we're coming back. And I'll see you guys around. And here's Chasing Dreams.
Woke up with a spark in my chest, no map, no guide, just a wild little whisper saying, don't you hide. Dust on my boots, but fire in my veins. Every scar I carry just sharpens the aim. They said, stay safe. I heard, don't fly, but I've got thunder bottled in my sky. I'm chasing dreams like they're running from me, through the dark, through the doubt, through the debris. Every fall just fuels the climb. I'm dancing on the edge of time. No chains, no fear, just open seas. The world's too small for what I believe. If I break, I'll break in flight. Still reaching for that distant light. Still reaching for that distant light. Roads getting rough, but I'm loving the scars. Each one constellation pointing to the stars. They laugh when I say I'll rewrite fate, but I've never been the kind to hesitate. Storms may rise, but I won't bend. I'll ride the lightning to the end. I'm chasing dreams like they're running from me, through the dark, through the doubt, through the debris. Every fall just fuels the climb. I'm dancing on the edge of time. No chains, no fear, just open seas. The world's too small for what I believe. If I break, I'll break in flight, still reaching for that distant light. Even shadows can't keep me confined. I turn every no into fuel for the fire inside. If the sky falls down, I'll build my own. Brick by brick, I'll carve a throne. I'm chasing dreams, yeah, I'm wild and free. Not the person they thought I'd be. Every heartbeat screams, go more. I'm everything I'm fighting for. No end in sight, just endless skies. Reflections of fire in my eyes. And if I fade, I'll fake bright, a shooting star in endless night.